guys, welcome back to our channel, Lavinia Monet. This is Janae, and if you are interested in how I passed the NCLEX and how I prepared and studied oh so long, then stay tuned. So, as some of you guys know, I am officially a registered nurse. I'm just hype. I just like to hear myself say it. But no, I passed my NCLEX on the 23rd of August, and I took it on the 21st, found out I passed on the 23rd. So yes, well, a lot of people that was hitting me up this summer like, hey, what you doing? You want to go out? Where you been? This, that, and the third. And I'm like, no, I gotta study. Like, and they were like, you were always studying in school. You just graduated. What are you studying for? And I have to tell them, like, I'm studying for the NCLEX. And they're like, what's the NCLEX? And I gotta break it down. It's what every registered nurse has to take before she even starts working. She or he even starts working. And basically, it's a computerized test that tests your knowledge to see what you learned throughout all of nursing school. So like they get from the nitty gritty, what you learned from day one to the last day. And basically how the test works is like it gives you questions at a certain level. It's like a passing line. And in order to pass the NCLEX, you have to be consistently above that passing line, or at the passing line, I should say. And you can get a minimum of 75 questions to 265 questions. If you get the question right, then it will give you an even harder question. If you get that question right, an even harder question. If that one right, and it keeps going on and on. But if you get it wrong, it'll give you an easier question, and then it'll give you easier question, easy question. So this is the line. You get the question right, boom, you get it wrong, back down, get another one wrong, under the line. If you're consistently under the passing line, then that's how like some people fail or get a lot of questions until you become consistently above that passing line. My test shut off at 75 questions. So that meant I could have been doing really good or really bad. Questions that I were getting were like, I don't know, they were hard. I had so many select ordered apply questions. It was just hard, and I felt like I was getting everything wrong. But I've heard and I've read that when the questions are really hard and then your test shut off at 75 questions, then you most likely pass. But don't quote me on this, because I mean, in some cases, I don't know if people failed or not, but that's what I've heard. So yeah, that is the NCLEX. And then when you pass, you'll get your RN license number, and you're able to be a nurse and be the best nurse you can be. How I prepared for the NCLEX was kind of weird, because I prepared for it differently in the beginning than I did at the end. I actually studied for the NCLEX for 3 months after graduation, from May to August, and I was not happy. And the only reason I studied for 3 months is because I didn't receive my authorization to test, and you have to have your authorization to test before you can even schedule to take your NCLEX. So it was something wrong, because I have an accent over my E, and it was just something going on with my name. It was just some weird stuff. She didn't put the accent over my E, but in the records my accent was over there. It was something stupid. So I didn't get my authorization to test for a long time. So in the beginning, as soon as I graduated from nursing school, I came home, I was so eager. I went and I bought a planner, I bought a notebook and some little sticky notes. And I don't know why I wasted my money and my time buying it, because I'm a very unorganized studier. Like, I just study the way I want to study. I don't sit and write everything out neatly and put tabs and dates and sticky notes. I just go with the flow. After I bought all of my stuff, I was using some books that I've already had from nursing school. Some of the books that I've used, I was using this book, A Good Thinking Approach to the NCLEX and Other Nursing Exams, Become a Super Test Taker. I actually saw this book when I went to convention, the nursing convention this year, and I was going to purchase it, but I was like, I'll wait, because I don't know, like maybe I'll order the book, maybe I won't want the book later on. So I was just like, you know, I'll just wait. And then come to find out, my spring semester, they gave it to us for free. So hey, well, it wasn't really for free. You had to like purchase the book with the financial aid, blah blah blah. But no, this book is really good. We were using it for one of our classes before I graduated. I only used it for like a day or two. I didn't really wasn't really consistent with it, but this is a good book to study for the NCLEX. Another book I used when I was studying is this book by Charity, Prioritization, Delegation, and Assessment. It has a lot of management questions, one of the biggest topics on the NCLEX. Like, who do you see first? What should you do first? A lot of hard questions, and a lot of people, this is a very popular book. A lot of people use this book to study for the NCLEX. And I used this book for a day or two. The book that I was using for a while is this book, the Q&A Review NCLEX-RN book. We were actually using this in school too. This is one of our textbooks that was mandatory for us to get. I was using this when I first came home. I was actually using this one more than the other two. It's so many questions. Look how thick the book is. So this is a good book. And I knew I wasn't going to be using a lot of my books that I had from nursing school, because I just wanted to be done with those freaking textbooks. I wanted a different way to study. I just wasn't feeling it. So besides the books, another way that I study and I recommend people get is Kaplan. Kaplan is like a test prep. It helps you for not only the NCLEX but other exams, other state exams, other big exams that you have to take. And they offer it at my school at the end of the semester. After we graduate, I guess we stay a week after school to take the class, and it was offered to us for $300. But I wanted to get out of Indiana as fast as I can. I'm just going to keep it real. I wanted to leave. I didn't want to stay for an extra week. Me and my little Honda, we were out. After graduation, I was out. I didn't want to be up there. I didn't want to sit in another classroom. I'm like, listen, I'll see if they have it in Philly. All of my friends were like, well, it's cheaper at IUP. I'm like, listen, at this point, I don't care. I don't want to be up here for an extra week. I wanted to leave. I came home, and like I said, I was studying with those books for a little bit. I asked my mom to purchase Kaplan. I wanted to do Kaplan. I didn't want to do online. I didn't want to buy the book. I wanted to be in class in person. I don't know. I wanted to actually feel like a professor was teaching me, but not at IUP. I don't know. So I finally got the Kaplan, and it was a 3-day course. And basically, what I paid for Kaplan in-person class was $450. Yes, $450 hard-working dollars. But they do let you do payment plans if your money is funny. You can work with them. They're really helpful and everything like that. So what came with the Kaplan in-person $450 package was a 3,000 exam style questionnaire. So that is the Q-Banks, the 3 CAT exam, and there were, I think it was around 8 question trainers. A Q-Bank is where you can set up your own type of exams. You can set up your own questions. You can pick which topics you want, and you can do them however you want. You just have to pick a topic and pick how many questions and pick if you want it timed or if you want it tutored. So it's basically about you. What do you want? How do you want to study? The CAT exams are computerized adaptive tests, and basically they're set up just like the NCLEX. It gives you the line question, right at the line. If you get them right, they'll go harder. Get them wrong, they'll be a little easier, and it'll shut off in between 75 to 365 questions. So you get 3 of those. Then you have question trainers. So these are already made up exams. When I first started the Kaplan question trainers, they were giving me I think it was 75 questions. That was the minimum. And they time you so you can be on it probably a minute per question. And then when I got to the last question trainer, it was 265. So they give you different questions, it's different topics. When I say topics of the NCLEX, it's different type of questions they ask you. Management questions, safety and infection control questions, health promotion and maintenance questions, psychosocial integrity questions, farm questions, so medications and stuff, math problems. Reduction of risk potential questions, and physiological adaptation questions. I like Kaplan because they literally have those type of questions and those type of categories. So if you're doing a Q bank and you want all management questions, you can make a test with all management questions, which I feel like is really good because you need to practice the type of questions that they're going to test you on this NCLEX. They show you this decision tree and all of these other strategies and ways to break down certain type of NCLEX questions. Well, basically all types of NCLEX questions. And they basically show you how to pass the NCLEX. They tell you how to break the question down, which ones do you eliminate, which ones do you cross out. It's really like a descriptive strategy into picking the right answer. With the package that I got, it also comes with a 300 topic content video library. So you can, if I want to look up something about cardiac or something like that, I could click a video and it will break down everything. So I really thought that was cool because it's kind of like, I don't know, like a online class type of thing. And it's just reinforcing, reteaching you things that we learned in nursing school that we might have forgot. So I thought that was really helpful too, because sometimes when I was in the class and the professor, the Kaplan teacher said something, I would come home and I would look it up and watch the video about it, and then I would get further clarification on the topic. So they had 300 topics of those, and they also have something called the NCLEX channel, which you could sit in live, or sometimes you could just go back and watch the video. It was like an instructor basically teaching a class. One time I sat in and she was talking about all of the different antibiotics. Just basically like I said before, it's an online class. I felt like I was being homeschooled or something, but it was really helpful at the end of the day. So overall, to sum up Kaplan, it was a 3-day course. So I went in and we did so many NCLEX questions, and he taught us all of the decision trees, and he taught us how to break down the questions. And then I would go home and I would do some of the questions on the computer. So you have the CAT exams, the question trainers, and the videos and everything like that. So you have all of that too to look at. I did those, and questions that I was getting wrong, or topics that I felt like I didn't totally understand, I would write them down, or I would make flashcards. So those are some things that I would do, because I'm used to studying by flashcards and studying after I write stuff down. So that was Kaplan. That was something else that I did to study for the NCLEX. And I was doing Kaplan for maybe a month and a half, because after the 3-day, after the little 3-day class thing, I would come home, and even after that was all over, I would still do questions. So maybe I was doing Kaplan for a month and a half. I'm not really sure. But then after I got done Kaplan, I'm like, oh my God, I still don't have my authorization to test. So I was getting livid, I was getting mad, because for some reason I'm thinking the longer I wait to take this NCLEX, the more information that I'm forgetting, the more likely I'm going to fail. I'm a drama queen, yes. But I was freaking out. So I had to make many phone calls and contact people from IUP to try to get this ATT. But I finally got the ATT, and that's when it hit me. I'm just like, oh my God, now I'm scared. Now I don't have no way to study up until I take my NCLEX, because it was a couple weeks left. And I'm like, oh my God, I need something to do. I need something to study. I didn't want to go back to the books. I'm like, I just did Kaplan, and I finished my whole Q bank for Kaplan. So I'm like, I need something better than Kaplan. I need something on Kaplan's level. I just need to keep doing these questions. And I'm like, I don't want to pay for Kaplan again, so maybe I should try something else. So I went on Facebook and I typed in NCLEX UWORLD practice. It's a group. So I asked to join the group. A couple days later, they accepted me. Now I'm in a group, and then it's so many people in there posting NCLEX questions, telling us their story on how they passed or failed the NCLEX. It was a big group, and everybody was working together. So I'm like, cool, this group is cool. But I've also was noticing a lot of people were saying, oh, I passed with 75 questions thanks to UWORLD, UWORLD. Now I know the group is called NCLEX UWORLD Practice, but I'm just like, okay, I didn't take UWORLD. Everybody's passing with UWORLD. Nobody's saying anything about Kaplan. So I'm like, I have to get UWORLD. So I found a way to get UWORLD. I got the 30-day question, just the Q bank. I'm like, let me just see what this is about. I'm only going to spend the $100, the cheapest one. It was the 30-day Q Bank. So I make my UWORLD account, and I did like it. I really liked it a lot. The thing I like about UWORLD the most is the fact that like everybody else was saying, the content is so like content heavy. It's stuff that I totally forgot that when I got on UWORLD, I'm like, oh my God, like now I remember this, because when you get a question wrong, it tells you why you got the question wrong, and then it tell you why the question is right. Like they'll give you pictures, paragraphs, like it tell you why each question is wrong and why the correct answer is right. On Kaplan, it didn't really do that. For Kaplan, it just basically like told you like what you did on a decision tree that was wrong. Like I said, Kaplan was just mainly focused on making you pass the NCLEX, like how to break down the questions. They didn't care about content. They didn't care if you remember this or if you know this. So that's why I liked UWORLD, because UWORLD really like made me remember everything, and the content was just so detailed and everything was all there. So I got like, I think it was like 2,100 questions. I'm not sure. But I finished all but 300 questions. I finished the whole Q Bank within I think 2 weeks. So I was really going ham. Like I was really studying the rationales like crazy. I made 536 flashcards before the NCLEX of just on UWORLD, just making flashcards of things that I thought I didn't remember. They gave you graphs, they gave you little charts so you can remember. And it was set up just like the NCLEX, to be honest. Like it really had all types of questions. So it had questions that you had to put in the right order, questions where you had to point to like where is this located on the body. Like so I bought the UWORLD 30 day. It was like $90. I bought that package. They have other packages too. They also have adaptive exams. I don't know if they cut off like how Kaplan's were. Like I don't know how they go, but I know they give you a percentile, and they tell you with the other packages that are more money, they'll tell you like you are at a very high risk of passing the NCLEX, or you're at a high risk, or you're at a low risk. Like it's like they have it like that. Other than that, they'll give you percentiles. I was in an 89th to 92nd percentile, like it kept ranging. So I'm like, I hope this is accurate. Like this is pretty good. Like I'm doing pretty good. So I hope this is accurate, and I hope I really pass. But I know they have other exams on UWORLD that'll definitely let you know if you're passing or not. I just didn't get that package. Overall, how I studied was the books, Kaplan, and UWORLD. And I wouldn't even really say the books, because I was only studying the books for a few days. But I mean, hey, I was still studying. And I think which best helped me prepare for this NCLEX is Kaplan. I don't know. And I don't know, like I just feel like it all depends. I feel like Kaplan is all about strategy. Like it's all about how you break down a question. You're not going to be scared of this question. You're going to attack this question, break it down. This is why I know it's right. It gives you that kind of confidence. UWORLD, on the other hand, it was like they were like neck and neck. It was like so close, because UWORLD looked exactly like the NCLEX. Like when I was taking NCLEX, I'm like, wow, this really looks like UWORLD. And it helped me like remember some content that I didn't like, remember before. But when I took the NCLEX, I literally saw myself doing the decision tree. It was some stuff I'm like, oh, I remember that from UWORLD. Like I remember, a good thing I studied that from UWORLD. But like I was really using the decision tree. And I think I picked Kaplan because I was doing Kaplan longer. I was doing the in-class Kaplan, as I was all about Kaplan at first. And another reason why I picked Kaplan over UWORLD is because the type of questions that Kaplan gave you, they were like how the NCLEX was structured, like the management questions, safety, infection control, those type of questions. And I was used to answering like those type of questions. And yes, on the NCLEX, I had those type of setup questions. Like, I don't know. It was just, I don't know. I just think Kaplan is better, but I think UWORLD is better too. I don't know. They're two totally different things. I feel like if you struggle more with strategy, when you look at questions and you feel like you know the content, you know the information, and you're just scared of the question, you don't know where to start with the question, I feel like Kaplan is for you. It teaches you how to break down the question, period. And I feel like if you feel like you're good with NCLEX questions and you just forgot everything, you feel like you don't remember, you're stuck in between the two, you need to focus more on content. Like if you really struggle with OB, or if you really struggle with psych and you feel like you really need to like go over stuff but you don't want to go back into the books, then I feel like UWORLD is for you. So now to get to the nitty gritty, my story on my whole NCLEX experience. Sit back for this one. I tell you guys, this was one of the most stressful times that I've ever dealt with. Like, I have never been so stressed ever. So the day before the NCLEX, I wanted to tell all my friends, but I didn't want to tell because of course I'm like, dang, I'm probably going to fail, and I don't want them to be like, Janae failed, whatever. I don't know. I just didn't want to tell nobody. I just felt like it was bad luck. So I was just freaking out because I didn't have really nobody except my best friend who lives with me and my mom who lives with me to like comfort me. I needed everybody. I needed my whole support system to comfort them. So the night before, well, the day before, I was actually trying to do NCLEX questions. I was getting stuff wrong, probably because I was nervous, and it was just freaking me out even more than I was freaking out. So then I'm like, all right, well, what do you do? What do you do the day before the NCLEX besides panic? Like, what do you do? So everybody was saying relax. You're supposed to relax, no questions the day before at all. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to do any questions. Like, I'm going to chill. So we decided to like go get a dip in the pool. So we get in the pool, and it was just a cloudy day. Like, it wasn't sunny. So I was pissed. I'm like, all right, we got to get out the pool. So we get out the pool, and then we're just sitting there relaxing. Just laid out in the back relaxing. So then we start the fire pit, and now we're just relaxing with some heat because like I said, it was cool. It was kind of cool outside because it was cloudy. And then we started making s'mores, and we were making roasted marshmallows. So now I'm kind of chilling. We was in our R&B, our 90s R&B bag. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, now I'm finally relaxing. Like, we making s'mores, laughing. I'm out there with my cousins and my best friend. And we're just making s'mores, just chilling and relaxing. And then my cousin goes and she makes us a hot mocha latte. I don't know what it was, but it had chocolate vodka in it. And it had pumpkin spice on top with some Cool Whip. She's so extra, but it was so good. And now I'm really relaxing because I'm kind of tipsy. We drank 2 little mugs. So now I'm like in my bag. I'm feeling it. I'm getting a little confidence booster. She made us some salmon and some asparagus and some lemon cake for dessert. I came home. I got in a nice bubble jacuzzi bath. And I put a black mask facial on. And I was listening again to some 90s R&B, which I know about that. And I was just really chilling. Like, I was really just chilling. It was in my bed. Took my facial off, laid down. Now this the part that was, I just get my stomach was hurting so bad. Like, I just kept getting random butterflies, but they would last so long and it would hurt so bad. Like, I'm just like, like I'm so nervous. So I couldn't go to sleep. I would lay down around like 11:30. I laid down. I should have laid down earlier because I had to be up by 5:30. So I was laying down or whatever, and my eyes were shut, but I wasn't asleep. Like, I just couldn't sleep at all. So when I finally feel myself hit REM sleep, I don't know if we actually feel ourselves do that. I'm just being dramatic, but I just felt like I was in a deep sleep. And then one of my friends from school FaceTimes me and wakes me the freak up. Randomly just FaceTimes me. So I'm like, I'm freaking tired. I can't go to sleep. As soon as I go to sleep, he calls me. I'm just like, yeah, I might as well just stay up because he called me. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. So that means I was laying there from like 11:30 to maybe like 1:45, and then I went to sleep, and then he calls me at 2. So I'm just like, you know what, I can't sleep. I gotta go in my mom's room. I'm a mommy's girl. So anyway, I go in my mom's room and I lay in her bed with my mom and Goldie, our cat. And then that's when I just knocked out. Like, I went right to sleep after being in her room. But it didn't feel like I was asleep for that long. My alarm went right off. But it was weird because when my alarm went off at 5:30 in the morning, I was energized. It's like I was up, I was hyped, ready. I don't know why I had energy when I barely got 3 hours of sleep, but I was ready, like I had energy. Oh, and by the way, my mom took off of her work, her full-time job, which she goes to every day. She took off to comfort me and come with me to the NCLEX site, to the site where Pearson, wherever I went. She came with me because she knew I would be an emotional wreck, and my mom is my #1 supporter. Like, that's my baby. We do everything together. So she took off of work to come with me. So she was up thinking she cute, put her little mascara on, and I'm ready. I put some tights on, an IUP shirt on, a little whatever, put my little Vans on. I was ready to go. I put some mascara on too to feel cute, did my little eyebrows, you know. I had to feel myself a little bit so I could get some confidence. And then when we left, we were on our way downtown. We caught the bus because it was downtown, and I live in Philadelphia. Traffic, it don't matter what time it is. I wasn't dealing with the traffic in the parking lot because I couldn't be late. I had to be there on time, and I had to sit down and take my test. So we were on a bus, and I had my headphones in. I was just blasting music to get me hyped. Like, the Met driver, all white range. That I was listening to Cardi, Bodak Yellow. I was listening to Nicki Itty Bitty Piggy. Hey, like, I was getting hyped. Like, I had the reggae on. I had everything. Like, every song that gets me hyped, I was playing because I was getting hyped. So then we're downtown. Then I start getting scared again. And I'm like, come on, let's go get some breakfast. I'm like, I don't know. She like, wow. I'm like, I don't have an appetite, and I don't know, my stomach, my butt, like, I don't know. My stomach was hurting so bad. It just felt like if I ate, it just wouldn't have been a good sight. Like, my stomach and my butt wasn't having it. So I was just like, I don't know. Maybe I'll just get a water. So I'm drinking my water, and I don't know. I just feel like my NCLEX studying and getting ready was so different than everybody else's. Like, everybody's so organized. Everybody eats breakfast before. Like, that just wasn't me. I didn't eat breakfast. I got 3 hours of sleep. But, like, when you think about it, that's how I was in nursing school. I barely got sleep before exams. I never ate breakfast before exams. I had my water, and I was good to go. And I went to sleep and ate after the exam. So, I don't know. Maybe that's what helped me get into the building. And it's just like so serious. Everybody's just so serious. We get up to the floor. I have to go through this door. I walk through. Then it's another door. Like, I felt like I was going into like I don't know, like a secret spy agency. I don't know what it was. But we go in. Me and my mom go in. The man is just like, pick a number. So I'm like, okay. Like, I pick a number. He was like, I sat down, and my mom came towards me to, like, just to be there with me. He was like, are you taking a test, ma'am? And she was like, no, I'm just here for my daughter. And then that's when I was just like, all right, mom, it's okay. And I just gave my mom a hug and a kiss, and she was like, good luck, baby, I love you. And I was like, I love you too. And it was so cute. It was like a little awe moment because nobody else mom was in there. It was just me and my mom. Everybody else was sitting there looking mad and miserable, and my mom was right there for me. Anyway, she left, and then everybody picked their numbers or whatever. Then we had to wait. We had to read this little paper thing, laminated paper, about everything about the NCLEX, if you cheat, yada, yada, yada. So then they were calling people up by their numbers, and then they would ask you for your license and all this other stuff. You had to give them your phone. They packaged it away, and they told us that they had to be the ones to cut it open at the end, or else they had to, I don't know, it had to write up a case. It was something stupid. I don't know. They take our pictures and they do a vein scan. Yes, they scan your vein. You have to put your hand on this thing, and they scan your veins to make sure that you are 100% you. It was just like, if we weren't already stressed, this just tops it off. Like, we were already stressed enough. Then they give us a locker, and we got to put everything in there. No watches, no bracelets, no nothing. So we put everything in there, including our packaged up phones that they had to cut at the end. And now it was time to get seated. You got seated individually, one by one, and you had to get your vein scanned again and show her your ID before you get seated. So it's like you do two of the same steps, like in two different things. So the lady in front of me, of course, she still had on bracelets and stuff, so we had to wait for her. Like, it was just too much. So then it's my turn, and they make you empty out your pockets in front of them and everything. So now it's my turn, and I'm like the only one in there, hyped. Like, I told you guys, I had so much energy. Like, I was scared, but I was like a nervous wreck, happy, weird, fake smile type of thing. So she was like, good morning. I'm like, good morning, how are you? Like, I was just so hyped. And then she was just like, can you take your jacket off? I was like, oh, it's not a jacket, it's a shirt. Because I had like a jean shirt tied around my waist. And she was like, either way, take it off. Like, I don't know what was wrong with everybody. Everybody was so grumpy. So I took it off, and she made me like go like this and empty out the little boob pockets. So then I tied it back around, and she was like, okay, follow me. You're at computer number 6. You could put your noise out headphones on and blah, 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 whatever she said. I sat down in my computer. I just took a deep breath, said a little mini prayer, and it just like, I just hit start, and it just took you through like this tutorial thing and all that. And I'm just clicking start. Like, I didn't even care. I was clicking everything they told me to click. But then when it was like, you are like about to start your exam, I just smiled. Like, I don't know, like something about me, I just felt so confident. I just smiled, and then I just started taking the exam. Like, all I know is I looked up, I was on question 20. I looked up, I was on question 44. And then I looked up, I was on like 60 something. And when I was on 60 something, I started getting scared, because I'm like, yo, what if it goes past 75? But once it hit 75, it cut off. Like, and I just felt like I took the test so fast. I was done in less than an hour. And I felt like I failed because, like I said before, all of my questions were super, super hard. And I had like 150 select all that apply questions. So I was just mad. I'm like, I actually wanted the test to keep going because I thought I was getting questions wrong. And I wanted to prove myself. Like, I was just kind of upset that it cut off at 75 questions. And then after that, it made me do like a case study type of thing. But I didn't read the directions because I was a nervous wreck, because the test had just cut off. So I'm like, okay, I just hit okay, and I didn't read the directions. And it was basically case study questions, because they're about to change the NCLEX for next year. And I guess that's how the NCLEX is going to be set up next year. But I was really freaking out because I thought that was a part of my NCLEX. And I'm like, what the hell? These questions were super hard. Like, they gave you a whole nurse's note. They gave you lab reports. They gave you physician's orders. And then you had to answer questions based off of that. Like, and I was just getting so irritated because I'm like, I know my test shut off at 75 questions. So what do they have me doing? And they made me do about like 20, I don't know if it was 20 questions. Maybe it was like 12 questions. I don't know. Y'all know I'm dramatic. It was a lot of questions considering I was done, and I was really like putting my all into these questions because I'm like, what if this is a part of the NCLEX? Like, what if this is some new funky stuff? So after a while, I'm like, you know what? This can't be a part of the NCLEX because I know I'm getting these questions wrong, and they would have been getting easier, and it's these same case study questions. So I just started clicking everything, and then after that, I had to do a survey of just like the NCLEX, like Pearson, whatever. My test cut off at 75 questions. That's when I took a deep breath. I was just like I just felt like Jesus just left. Like Jesus always is with me, but I just felt like he took the wheel for that exam because I went numb. I don't remember any of the questions that I got on the NCLEX. I just know that it shut off at 75 questions, and I was just like, and that was that. But that was my NCLEX story. And then after that, my mom brought me a Wawa's Colombian hazelnut coffee, and we went to Chipotle, and then I came home, and I don't know, I was just still shaky. And then my mom's coworker told me to do like the cheat way of finding out if you pass the NCLEX or not. And basically what you do is you go back on Pearson VUE or Pearson View or wherever, and you try to repurchase the NCLEX. So you put your card numbers in, and you try to like say if you fell and you got to repay for the NCLEX. So that's basically what we did, and it's like a thing that comes up, like it won't let you go on with your order. Like, it won't take your money, and it'll say like something about you recently you're registered. Something, I don't know. It was something. It's like a red little paragraph that tells you why you can't repurchase the NCLEX, and that means that you passed the NCLEX. Now, if it takes your money, or if you put your card in and you don't have any money on your card and your card declines, and they say that more than likely you failed the NCLEX. So the day that I took the NCLEX, I basically knew that I passed the NCLEX, so they didn't let me repurchase the NCLEX. So I was kind of happy, but I'm like, I need to be for sure. Like, I gotta wait 48 hours, the longest 2 days of my life, to find out if I actually passed or not. And those 2 days went by, and I was just so scared. And it was like 9 o'clock in the morning, 8:30, I don't know, around the time that I actually took my exam. And I went on the website, and I just went to my quick results, and then it said I passed. So I'm like, oh my God, I passed my NCLEX on the first time, and I am officially a registered nurse. Like, I'm just so happy. Whew, that was a long story, but listen, I'm just so happy. I feel like this is just really my calling, and I'm just so happy to finally like start this journey. So that was my crazy story of how I studied, prepared, and passed the NCLEX. I'm wearing Cherokee scrubs in the color Karma. They're so cute. They're so cozy and soft, stretchy. They feel good on my skin, and I could just wear these for 24 hours. Wait, that sounds kind of dirty. I could wear these, I meant to say, for 12 hours. A 12-hour shift, perfect in here. I love Cherokee scrubs, and I love this color. How I passed my NCLEX with 75 questions. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can write anything down below. I'll be sure to write back. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you guys will tune in next time on Living in Monet.